I have here with me one very interesting deal happening in Cameroon here, and I have with me Alamine Ousmane Mey. He's the Minister of Economy for Cameroon, and also Sergio Pimenta. He's the Vice President for Middle East and Africa at the IFC. Minister, I'd like you to speak to this project and why you think it's important for Cameroon.
Nachtigal hydropower company is an important project for Cameroon because we are willing to become an emerging country by 2035. And in our strategy, energy and infrastructure are key pillars of our development plan. As you can imagine, industrialization cannot take place without energy. Improving living conditions of the population is impossible without energy. Cameroon in 2010 had a production level of 1,000 megawatts. And we want to believe that increasing this level of production by 420 megawatts will definitely transform our economy. This is going to help our industry boom, progress, develop. We have implemented infrastructure, and we think that with this level of energy, 32% increase, we will be able to exploit, develop our mineral resources and export them. We have infrastructure like ports, roads, and we have to take advantage of these facilities. This is also an opportunity for us to see that the trust that the private sector has put in Cameroon is a clear signal that the reform we realized in 2015 to make independent power producer come into our country a reality. This has led to a structuring of 1.2 billion euro operation, and we are very proud to have IFC as one of the key partners, and the World Bank as a group be part of this development plan. And it is certainly one of the best model in terms of implementing electricity production. And this is certainly why those investors have been interested in and have decided to join. It is going to certainly improve on Africa as destination of investment, public-private partnership as a model to improve on our infrastructure development. And we are very proud to be at the center stage of this operation.
All right, then let me bring in Sergio at this point to speak to IFC's involvement and then this model he's talked about as well. Can you speak to those points, please?
Sure, it's a pleasure to be here, especially with the Minister, since this has been a very strong collaboration between IFC, the private sector arm of the World Bank Group, with the government of Cameroon. And we have been involved in this project from the very beginning. We have done a lot of work with the government in the reforms that the Minister was mentioning. And this is very much a very good fit with IFC strategy, which is to really work with the governments to create space so that private sector can come in and invest in Africa. And this project is a very good illustration of this. It's, as the Minister mentioned, it's a 1.2 billion euro project, a very large project. IFC is putting almost 200 million euros of our own account fund in the project. We're mobilizing almost 800 million of euros. And interestingly also, we are bringing our sister institutions, the World Bank and MIGA, with guarantees of almost 450 million euros to support this project. So we have mobilized a large number of institutions, commercial banks, DFIs, to come and fund this project. With this project, as the Minister said, we're going to be able to bring low-cost, clean, environmentally friendly energy. It's an hydropower run-of-the-river project to the population of Cameroon. And as you know, energy is absolutely key to the development. It will provide electricity for households, for companies, helping the development of the country.
Okay, Minister, I'd like you to speak to how this has been implemented. Is it creating, how much local jobs is it going to create on the ground? How much skill transfer is going to happen, to getting this project to fruition?
Well, I want to talk about the project as a creator of direct employment as well as indirect employment. I do want to think that if 420 megawatt energy is injected in an economy, it will create enterprises, it will create more jobs within these enterprises that will certainly help our economy to grow. So we are talking about thousands of job creation in this economy and beyond the economy, because Cameroon is a hub in the Central African sub-region. And we think that improving on energy production will in line with development of a business environment which is conducive to investment, will help attract foreign direct investor will help create local companies, and this will lead certainly to 1,000 job creation within our economy and in the economy of our neighboring countries.
All right, then. Sergio, I'd like you to speak to how the IFC has been engaging in infrastructure development on the continent. I know there's the IFC Infraventure. I'd like you to speak to how this works and how you're trying to engage with countries on the continent.
So IFC infrastructure in general is one of the key priorities for IFC in the continent. The needs are significant, and what is more important to notice is that the private sector financing in infrastructure in Africa is still very small. So we need to really work on bringing more private sector to finance infrastructure like we're doing in the Nachtigal project in Cameroon. And what we've been doing is we've been working with the governments together with the World Bank on opening up space for private sector to come in. And then we come in at very early stages. We use you mentioned Infraventures. This is one of the facilities IFC has where we can come in and take equity stakes at very early stages and help promoters, help the governments develop projects from the beginning. So we take a very early risk and we're happy to come and support projects at these stages. After that, we can structure the financing, we can bring funds. I mean, IFC has deployed over $6 billion of funding last fiscal year in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, a record year for us and a large amount, and a large part of it has been for infrastructure. So we are a key player in infrastructure in Africa, and we are very much wanting to continue doing that, continuing to support, bringing in quality private sector, both foreign and domestic, helping the companies in the continent to so that they can have more impact on the development of the region.
All right, then. So finally, Minister, I just want to get your take on the timelines. When is this project going to come on board, and when can we see that 420 megawatts come to fruition for Cameroonians?
I think job will start very soon. It is a matter of a few weeks. This is our intention. And in total, we are talking about 24 to 36 months period of implementation. This is going to bring very fast, very cheap, very friendly, environmental friendly energy to our economy. And we hope that this example, this model, this operation will be emulated with other sites of energy production. Because we are aware of the role of the government to be an enabler, to do the reform necessary to attract private sector. And we did it in 2015, and now we are seeing the results. They are really very satisfactory, and they are really promising. We are contemplating the future with great hope, and we want to think that these deals which have been signed and the operation that will take place in the very near future will attract more investors, will make our continent and Cameroon, as part of it, equipped with infrastructure. We are going to talk about it for years again, because the gap of resources to fill infrastructure in our continent is huge. Energy is critical. Without energy, we cannot really implement our policy, our development policy. Without energy, we cannot industrialize. We need to industrialize, we need to produce, sell our products, we need to add value on our natural resources. And this is through energy, because energy will lead to industrialization, and industrialization will help add value. And at the end of the day, we are talking about human beings. They want to live in better conditions. They want to have greater, better conditions, and energy will improve on their living conditions because it will help them have greater opportunities at home, extend the period of education, learning of our kids, and this is what the government is willing to do, and we are proud to see that the private sector is helping us boldly.
All right, then. So we'll keep an eye on that project and see how things develop over time. Thank you so much for your time on the show. I've been speaking to Alamine Ousmane Mey. He's the Minister of Economy for Cameroon, and also joining us in studio as well was Sergio Pimenta.